In this video, we will discuss about how to assign values and how to format strings and what are the different options available with strings. We know that, so we don't need to declare any variables in Python. We can directly use some str is equals to Selenium. So you can give single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes. So I told you. So single quotes or double quotes, anything is fine. And triple quotes for multi-line strings. Okay. So you can give a single string, that is fine, no issue. You can also continue it saying, right, I wanted to give something like WebDrive. So you have two strings now. So then how will it take? Let's see. So str.print. So it is going to autocomplete. Just run it. So you can see that Selenium WebDriver. So if you give some space here and execute, that's it. So Selenium WebDriver, that's it. So here I have given single quotes, here I have given double quotes, and here also let's give single quotes and then C, and this is what it is. Very simple. So we can also see like this, I'm giving commas, and then let's print the value. It automatically becomes an array list. So that's what you have to remember. So here you can give str of 0. So it should print Selenium. 1 should print WebDriver. So this is how you can able to give multiple strings to variable, and you can give, you can separate with double quotes or single quotes, and then you can assign multiple values. There is no problem at all. It will directly take that, or else you can able to use plus symbol, and okay, wherever you want, you can specify some spaces. Okay, let's say I wanted to embed those two with the space, so I will remove this. It will take, no issue at all. So you can use plus symbol for concatenation. Okay, this is one thing. And second, you also have, let's say I wanted to embed Selenium WebDriver some version number. So that version number will become a number, right? So you can use %d. %d refers number. So what we can do is str, and here %, and I'm saying 4, and it is going to print Selenium 4. So now don't think that it is just embedding 4. It is just concatenating 4 with it. So what I will do is Selenium 4 WebDriver. Let us see this one. So it's actually wherever you have that %d, it will replace that. It will replace that Selenium 4 WebDriver. So it is just replacing that %d with 4. So what will happen if you write some character in place of this? So let's say I'm writing characters, something like C, and it should show an error saying that, you should supposed to add a digit. D means digit, but you have given a character. So it shows an error. So remember. And second thing, so this is how %d works. Okay, next. So you also have something like f, %f. Okay. So you have %d digit, or you can use %i. I becomes integer, and f is float, right? So I'm giving f here. So when I give f, it is going to give Selenium 4.0, like that it gives. Okay, it is converting that into float. It's converting that into float. So what will happen if I give ff? Okay, nothing will happen, right? Should actually give, right? Sorry, forget about that. Should actually give like this. Very simple. So 4, and after that it is giving you. Right, you can give, you can specify 4.0. That means we are directly giving floating number. We are directly giving floating number, right? So, but it is not restricting it to only one floating number. It is giving by default the default floating, right? to limit these floating points, you can actually use uh, point. If you don't specify any number over there, it is by default going to give, even if you specify some numbers here, it is by default going to give that particular 4, right? You can see here. So if you specify 1, so it will give you one floating point like that. So 1f, 2f, 3f like that. Okay, let's specify 2f. It gives 2f, right? You can see. So this is how you can able to provide multiple floating point values. And the second one, you have a string. Yes, you can specify. Let's say here I'm specifying Selenium percentile x s accept string numeric as well. Okay, let's say I'm keeping this 4.01 as it is, and it is accepting that. So it will take floating, it will take numeric values, or it will take the string values as well. Like let's say I'm giving RC, so it will take that Selenium RC WebDriver. Yes, it will take that one as well. Yes, right. So this is how you can use percentile s, right? And the next one is percentile C. So what is the meaning of C? Is C character. So what will happen if I keep that directly, not giving anything, and it says that it says a character. So now I'm giving R, only one character. So now let's see what it does. So it says R. So this is not the way how you have to use C. Let us specify here 65. So 65 is caps A, the ASCII character value. So this should be converted to A. Yes, it is converted to A. Selenium A WebDriver, right? So like this, you can use percentile C, and you also have percentile R. There are so many things in percentile D. I like that there are so many, but I am explaining what are the most used percentiles as part of testing, right? Yes. So R is important. Let's say if you wanted to specify Chrome driver path, let's see. So now R becomes raw. R means raw. So what will happen if you don't specify R, and if you specify only S, and then let's observe that. So here I'm giving some path, some file path for some folder path. So C:(test. I'm giving it. So C:(test. Let's execute this, and what it does, C:(C), it works. So I'm using this forward slash. So let's see what will happen. Is it still going to do the same thing? Yes, because I have used caps T. Let us use small t so that you will understand the difference. So small t becomes /t represents tab, right? So it gives some tab here, right? It shows. So let's say if we give n, right? So now it shows a new line, right? /n becomes new line. So now we wanted to treat this as a raw string, not as a normal string. So in that case, you can use R, right? So you can observe now, C nest. So it's not converting into tab, or it's not converting into a new line. Yes, it works. So this is how you can able to use percentile. This is how you can able to use percentile. And there is one more way how you can assign these values, right? Another way is, let's say, if you wanted to directly assign the values here, like this. Okay, here I'm directly assigning values. So it is going to print this value the same way, right? So C and T becomes tab, and it's printing. I wanted to print it like, this should be stored as a raw string. So you have to use R. So when you use R, it will convert that into raw string. Yes, you can see that it will convert that into raw string. So this is the advantage. And what else we have here? Okay, yes. So there is one more. Okay, let us discuss about format as well, and we'll also see a string, right? And this is the meaning of raw string. R string means raw string. So if there is any kind of meaningful characters, if there is any character giving some different meaning, it will still take that as a raw string. That's the meaning of R string, right? So next one is you have format. So what is the meaning of format? So let me give a string here. I'll say hi. I'll give now some format, right? So I'll just specify that. Okay. So I already told you percentile. So you can use while printing or while doing something, you can use percentile and you can specify that. That's one way of formatting. Another way of formatting is you can specify something here, right? Hi, and this will be a name. It can be anything. So now here I'll say hi, and then I'll format and then give. I'll give my name, right? And then to run it, it shows me hi Sudhakar. So whatever the first value of the first formatting becomes Sudhakar. So it shows here, right? And like that, send me a mail uh, to send the mail to. Okay, and here I want to give mail ID. Okay, fine, I'm giving it. So here I'll say Sudhakar at I'm giving my mail ID. So what you have to remember is, so that's the first one and it is second one. So it will automatically take these things like this. Hi Sudhakar, send a mail to Sudhakar at pdbsudhakar.com. So what will happen if you give like 0, if you give 0 and then if you give 0 here. So whatever the first value I've given, right, that becomes 0, the same 0 will go here. And what will happen when I say 0 and 1? So the 0th value and first value, like that it will take, right? So this is the advantage. Understood? So you can able to format strings. That is possible. You can able to format strings. So now, how to give values, right? So if there is, if you have a value stored in a variable, something like name is I'm storing Sudhakar. So now I wanted to give that name in string. So I will keep this before starting of it. Otherwise, I'll create one more string. I'll create one more string. Okay. So here I wanted to specify it. Here I wanted to specify. I'll specify name, right? And I'll specify mail is equals to mail ID is equals to, and I'll specify my mail ID. Okay. Now let's see what will happen. And here I'll specify mail ID. The first thing you have to remember, if you directly print it, it is going to take them as a normal normal thing. I have to print it, right? str1 dot print. Okay, let's print it, run it, and it shows like that. But I wanted to take the name and mail ID, right? That's why I will take F here, so that, so see, immediately when I give F, observe the color of name and mail ID, what happened? So it is representing this name and it is representing this mail ID, right? You can directly run it. So this is how you can able to store, you can able to embed some values. So if I'm not using this, how to concatenate these values? So if I'm not storing that, right? So is there any other way to concatenate? Yes, of course. You have to use plus symbols and you can use it. So you can specify hi, and then you can close it here, and then plus, and you can give name, right, as usual, right? So and then plus, and then open this, and then send a mail to, and then right, and then close this string here, and then plus. So this is how you can concatenate. This is how you can concatenate, right? So it prints the same thing. So str2 dot print, yes, run it, yeah. So this is how it does. So that's one way, and this is another way, right? Here I have to give some space, and I'll give some space as well, right? So this is how you can able to store strings and you can able to format string. And If you use F, so this is F is called format string, right? Okay, you can do many more things when it comes to format strings. This is just a beginning, so how to give, and this is the basic stuff in creating strings you usually go with, and you can use this in multi-line strings as well. And I told you how to create multi-line strings by using triple brackets. So let's say mstr is equals, by using triple brackets you can use multi-line string. So I'm using the same thing in multi-line strings as well. So here I will specify, here I'll specify, right, send me a mail to, okay, now it's not giving anything, I'll give F. Okay, so you can see that the color is changed. So mstr dot print, right, it's printing. You can see that how it works, right? Hi Sudhakar, sent a mail to Sudhakar@sudhakar.com, like that. So this is how you can able to create string. Okay, right? So this is how you can assign values and format by using percentile, and format by using format method, and format by using f string and raw string. So for paths, we'll generally use this R string. And finally, we have template string as well. And what is the meaning of template string? Let us see this one. So when it comes to template string, you have to import something from template. Okay, that's required, right? So you have to import to use template, right? So how are we going to create this template? All you have to do is template of and specify a string. All you have to do is template of. You need to specify your template by using dollar. You need to specify your template by using dollar, right? The same thing I'm specifying here, but instead of these two things, I will specify dollars. I'll specify dollars. So here I'm going to use the dollar and then name of it. So let me assign this to some other, and I'll specify dollar and name, and I'll specify dollar and mail ID, dollar and mail ID, and let me, okay, it's going to return a string. Let me assign this string to some TSTR. I'll specify to TSTR, and so TSTR dot dot. So you can see that these are all the methods what we have when it comes to TSTR, and what I'm using is substitute. So I have to use substitute. So here I need to substitute the values for name and mail ID. This is what I have to do. So I'm using name, right? So name is one substitute, name is equals. So I need to specify the value of that particular name, right? So this is required. So how are we going to specify? So here I'll specify Sudhakar and mail ID. So that's what we have, and I'll specify some same. I'll specify some different stuff, right? Yeah, abc@gmail.com, and then I'm going to print it. I'm going to print it and see that what this will print. Finally, what did I execute it? Okay, I clicked on some other stuff. Okay. So finally, it is printing, hi Sudhakar, send a mail to abc@gmail.com. That's what it is actually sending. Right. So here, what I'm going to do is I wanted to specify this name with the name what I've given. So these two are two different things. So here, in future, we'll be discussing about keyword arcs as part of user-defined functions. There you will understand, what is the meaning of keyword or parameters and that. But for now, just remember, right? We have something called name is name, and the color is different. So here we are defining, right? Here we are assigning mail ID here and name here, two different stuff here. So remember that. So you can see this here, right? It is taken. And for your convenience, I'll change the name of these things. Okay, don't think that it is going to change the name of these values or something like that. No, it doesn't, right? These will be some different stuff. These will be keyword arcs of this template. And here I'm saying name 1 and mail ID 1, and so that it will be easy for you to understand. So what will happen? It's not showing any error. So if I execute, and obviously showing an error saying that you have not assigned any value. So I have to assign any value for it. Right, so now you can see how it works. It works like a charm. So this is how you can able to use template string. In template string, it is going to give you an error. right? So when it comes to format strings, so what will happen? What will happen if the variable doesn't have the value or something like that? What will happen? So let us see that one as well. So I'll see that I'll give something like, some name 2 I'm giving here, and we don't have name 2, it is giving an error here itself, right? Understood? So this is what you have to remember. So what will happen if name is not string type, right? Okay, this is what you need to think. Whatever the value we passed here, that value will be taken into format. So it's not about, what is the type of value it is going to be. So now you can try with giving some percentiles over there, right? So so within this, I'm going to specify some percentile as n percentile d. Okay, what will happen if you specify that? So I want you to try it and then see the results of it. So you can work with strings in this way. And what are all the ways we have? We can assign values to a string, and we can use percentile d for digit, and or you can use I as well, right, for integer, and f for float, and this f is different from this f. Okay, f strings, format strings are different again, right? This f is float, and s means strings, c means character, r means raw. So you can have percentile r, or you can actually start prefix a string with r, so that it will become raw string. And finally, you can have template string. So for template string, you need to import a module. You need to import template from string module that is required, and that's it. You have strings, and we'll discuss about substrings, or how to manipulate strings in some other video. So you can practice with some percentiles, with some different combinations of things here. Right. Thank you.